otros están lejos. Ahí, ahí. Michael?
No soy muy apegada, o sea, me cuesta pegarme a las personas. No. Okay, she doesn't used to be like that. Oh yes, okay. But no, she's not that kind of person. She said that.
Okay. So we just stand together?
And she said sorry for that. She said.
No problem.
I think also that maybe about the previous experience with pandemic that she started in children. Remember I talked to. Maybe she changed.
She'd be more comfortable if I put my mask?
¿Te sientes mejor si eso?
Oh, that answers that question.
That answers your question.
Right, guys, welcome to our Monday night podcast here. My name is John Adams, co-founder of Foreign Affair, and you guys are in for a treat tonight. We have a very, very special show for you because we have two past tour clients that happen to be in Phoenix right now that both want to come on and share their stories with you. So we have Michael, who went on our China tour here recently, and we have Greg, who was with us in Thailand not too long ago. Make sure I'm still in the shot here. Am I still here? Yeah. So they have decided or wanted to come in and share their story, which we love. And we get so many guys that have written testimonials about us, that have done videos about us, and when they get the opportunity, they'll come into Phoenix and share their things too. So, you know, guys, if you're sitting there and you've been thinking about doing something like this and you're a little worried, we have two guys that actually survived it. You survived the tour. Hey!
Survived.
Where's my thing? Wait, where's my... and we're real. Come on, give it. Throw it over here. You guys survived the tour. Yeah! We got it. All right. So, Michael, we're going to start with you, and then we're going to get over to Greg. We're going to go back and forth here a little bit here. But, Michael, you live in New York, correct? Mm-hmm. New York's a big city, Michael.
It is.
There's lots of women in New York.
Yeah.
Why are we getting on a plane and going halfway around the world to find a woman? What is going on here?
Oh, because I just feel like American women are just so spoiled. I've had two incidences. One incident where I sent a like to a girl that was 5'7", 2 inches taller than me, and she tells me, "No, when I wear 3-inch heel, I'm 5'10", and if I'm 5'10", I want to look up to a guy, so I need a guy that's at least 5'11" or 6 feet." And I said, "Come on, just tell me you don't like short men." Right? Can't you just be truthful? You don't have to make up a story like this. So I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about? You're 2 inches taller than me, 2." You know, and then another one, I text her, "Hey, I really like you. I think we're good. Good text messages. Don't you think we should move to the next level? Maybe we should talk on the phone and then get to hear our voices, and maybe, we can tell about somebody, about from the tone of their voice. So what do you think?" And she writes me back, whoa, cowboy, calm down. I just got separated 3 months ago, and I just wanted to see what was out there. Well, I'm out here. So what do you think? And I guess the answer was not yes.
Not much, yes, until she's off, yes.
So I just said, look, there's got to be something better. And then all of a sudden, one day, I'm into salsa, so I'm watching salsa videos on YouTube. All of a sudden, I see this for Colombian women, socials. And it was yours. It came from yours. And I was like, this is a very freak happening. And I'm like, am I supposed to see this? So I watch it, and then all of a sudden, instead of Netflix binge watching, I start binge watching LoveMe.com and AFA. I'm like, holy smokes! Look at all these beautiful women in Colombia. Originally, I was interested in Colombia, and then I called up Michelle,
right?
And I said, Michelle, I can't believe you have 10-to-1 ratio in Colombia. That's amazing. And she goes, oh, that's nothing. At one of the socials in the Ukraine, I had 600 women. 600 women? Holy smokes! So then, that's when I
The
was.
guys hiding in the bathroom.
That's the one where you couldn't come out.
They were afraid. They were hiding in the bathroom. We had to get them out. Come on, it's okay.
So he thought that I'm afraid of being the meat in the meat market.
Yeah, he said, I feel like a piece of meat. It's just too much. And it is, for a lot of men, it is too much. Yeah. Okay, so this is why you started to go.
Yeah.
And now, Greg, what got you to go all the way to Thailand?
Well, like I said, I've been a member here for about 4 or 5 years, and I was working a lot, sometimes as much as 7 days a week. And then the pandemic hit, so all this kind of stuff got shut down. And meantime, my 2 youngest girls graduated college, so they're out of the house. And it worked out well for vacation time to Bangkok. I went the 24th of March through September 2nd. I did the 10-day. That was just, a few months ago. And it was the most recent one. And plus, I always wanted to go to Asia,
Okay.
So write that check and go on a tour.
Now, did you tell, you have family,
Yes.
right? Did you tell them you were going?
Not right away. To know my situation, I have 3 daughters and I have 2 sisters that are older than me, and I get mothered a lot, even by my daughters. And oh my gosh, I've sent them pictures of women, and women, oh, there's this wrong with this wrong and that wrong, and so I didn't tell anybody till 4 days before I left. It was a Friday night, and I left Tuesday night for Bangkok. So they didn't have much time to work on me. I said,
To brainwash you.
this is a done deal. I've already got the plane tickets.
I'm going, right?
I've paid for the tour. Yeah, I'm already gone mentally.
That's funny.
So,
All
yeah.
right. So, how about you, Michael? Did you have anybody telling you, oh, no, don't go all the way over to China?
I was telling the other guys at the salsa studio that I'm interested and I'm on this website. And then one guy says, oh, no, don't do it, because the moment you marry them, you bring them over. Oh, they're going to divorce you. They want you the green papers.
Oh, of course.
The green card. And that's it. You'll never see him again and blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I got to go call up John and find out. And what did you say? You said the marriages from AFA last longer than the average marriage in America. Is that what you said?
Yeah, well, actually, intercultural marriages tend to last longer than domestic marriages, and that actually was a finding from the Justice Department. They did an actual study on it, and they found that. And actually, I've seen from just the incidences of our marriages over the years, because we've been around for almost 30 years now. Right. And myself, I mean, Tanya and I are going to be coming up on our 25th wedding anniversary here in February. I mean, it's amazing. Excellent. I got to give myself a hand for that one. Hold on a second. Yeah, she's wonderful. Ty, if you're watching, we love you. So, but I've seen so many other couples that have, lasted. I mean, look, what is the average divorce rate here in the U.S.? It's about 50%.
Right? The first
so it's a
marriage,
flip of the coin, right? I mean, so it's
In less than
not
5 years, I think, too.
Yeah. So these have been lasting, and there's a lot of reasons for it. But one of the, and I'm not going to do all, but we don't have time. I want to hear you guys. But one of the reasons I think is because you guys are devoting so much more time and effort to it, trying to find that right person, not just settling for someone in New York or in Indiana, but actually taking that time to go halfway around the world to find that right person. And these women are taking a lot of time and effort to go to these events, to talk to these foreign men, to develop these relationships. It's not easy. Okay, and both of you will attest to this. That it's not just a simple thing. Oh, call John, get on plane, get married. No, it doesn't exactly work like that, does it? No. So there is a lot of effort and time that goes into this. But I think because you guys are doing all that, you are, more invested in it, and that's why I think these last longer. That's just my opinion. Anyways, so Michael, you're getting ready to go. Did you have any trepidation? Were you worried? Were you worried about anything going over? I mean, did you feel comfortable?
No, I didn't. The reason why was because I made one of the biggest mistakes. The biggest mistake is never fall in love with a picture.
Right.
And I fell in love with the picture of a girl. And I wrote her like the 8 of the most romantic letters to her. And when it was time to go and I said, I want to meet you, she says, I'm sorry, I'm already corresponding with someone else and I have no time for you. I was like, what?
You were heartbroken.
Yes, I was heartbroken. I was devastated. Then after that, I was like, let me write to some girls and see if I can get some dates set up. So I was in a rush and I wrote to like 10 women. And 10 women, I got 10 rejections. Yeah, 10 rejections that says already corresponding with other people, so I can't correspond with you, or not compatible. And I got one that just said not interested. And
I remember you calling me, and what did I tell you? I actually told you that's actually a good thing, because if every woman wants to write with you and every woman's in love with you, then there's probably something wrong with that. So for these women saying, oh, I'm already corresponding, or we're not compatible, or things, that's what you want. Now, 10 out of 10 having that, it's not so great, Michael. We need to work on that. But all in all, you know, you understood that it's important to go, right?
Yes. So what happened was, I was turning into Larry David. You see, whatever you think could go worse will go worse. You see, you're going on this trip and you got 10 rejections. How do you think this will be a success? Will it be a success? It will never be a success. I don't know why you're going. Why are you going? It's going to be catastrophic. You're just going to get your heart broken by, you already got it by 10 women.
Now 100.
Now 100 when you get there.
Poor Michael.
So will it make any difference? No, it just gets multiplied.
Yeah.
So I'm doing this character, and then Ken looks at me and Ken goes,
This is in China, by the way. You're in China, and Ken's actually on the tour with you. Okay, go ahead.
yes, and at breakfast, Ken is hearing all of this, and Ken is like, this guy's so good. Oh, he's gonna do so well. And I'm like, he looks like the devil looking at me like, oh, this guy's so good. I got him. I got him. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh, you're gonna do so well on the tour. They're gonna love you. And I'm like, I got 10 rejections. I got nothing, nada. But another guy, Will, he was smart. He did the Skype calls. And he did the Skype calls before I got there. And before the Friday social, he had 3 dates with 3 different women already. And I was like, wow. And that's one of those things where I have to say, that's a do, you got to do it. Do a couple of letters. And then Will told me his secret. Now, Will is smart. He's one of the smartest guy there. He says, do 1 or 2 letters and then propose the Skype video.
Call, yeah.
And then if they say no, then it's the end of that one. Don't write to her anymore.
I agree.
So I was like, holy smokes.
Was
And
he the
then-
one that got married?
Yes, he just got married recently. I think it was 10/10, October 10th.
Yeah, he's the one that just got married from the
Yeah.
tour. Yeah.
Yes, he did.
That's amazing.
So he was amazing. So that's why I said, don't fall in love with the picture. Do the Skype call.
Okay, all right.
So I'm going to do.
Did you do any Skypes before you went, or did
No,
you do a lot of
I
that
didn't.
before you went? No.
No.
So you just kind of went, and you just wanted to meet when you got there, pretty much.
Yeah, I just, did some research on the women of Bangkok. Never wrote to any, never did any Skype calling or any of that. So just kind of went on a wing, and it worked out. I had a great time.
All right. So both of you guys are getting prepared. You're doing what you're doing. You're freaking out that you're going to crash and burn. Okay. Because you called me quite a few times before you went, and we talked about that. But then you got there. Okay. So first impressions of getting to China. I mean, just overall, what did you think?
It was kind of ominous because I didn't know how to go from Hong Kong to Shenzhen. And then they gave it to me on a piece of paper. And I'm like, you got to follow the instructions. And I was like, this is even worse than Google. And Google will digitally tell me how many steps to take. But this was on a piece of paper. So, but when I got there, like careful staff took care of all of us, even individually. She took us one by one, first to take us to the bank to get our money changed. And then they took us to China Mobile to get a SIM card for our phone that we could use. And we got that in there. And then anything else that you needed to buy, if you wanted to buy underwear, socks, or whatever, another staff member would take us shopping. So we were already taken care of, and we were ready by Friday night. And then we were ready, and all we had to do is put on our clothes for Friday.
So you felt, okay, so you felt good. Because when you go to a foreign country, I don't know, guys, some of you have never been to a foreign country, but there's a learning curve. It takes time to learn where to get the money, where to get the phone cards, where to do all this stuff. But we don't want you wasting the time doing that. So that's why the staff is supposed to do that and take care of you with all that. Did they help you in Bangkok with those things?
Absolutely, yes.
Good.
They're practically 24/7. Late at night.
Yeah, but you never want that at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because nothing good comes from it at 3 in the morning.
phone
I can
call
tell
and
stories
nothing.
all day long about these at 3 in the morning. So no, but 24/7 we try, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think they owe me 10 yuan on the exchange rate. What's 10 yuan?
Yeah, no,
it's like $1.25.
I could tell so many funny stories about it. But we don't. We're not here to listen to my stories. So, all right, Michael.
Yes.
You're getting ready for that social. You're preparing to go into it, but you're not there yet. You're in your room. What's going through your mind?
Oh, I'm as nervous all hell because I don't know how they're going to accept me or like me. I didn't even know they were going to like me or not. So I'm nervous and I'm trying to forget about the 10 rejection. You know,
That's just still in your mind, right?
yeah,
Okay.
because it's flashing. Not interested. Not interested. Already corresponding. You know, not interested. Go away. And it's
Right.
like, oh man. So I'm kind of getting nervous. And I didn't know what to do. So I just put on my clothes and I just went. And that was about it.
Okay.
And
So
then,
you went, okay, and with you on that first Friday before you're getting ready, what was going through your mind?
Well, I didn't know what to expect. Never been on a social. I couldn't say I was nervous, but I did still have jet lag. So
Jet lag.
I was still a little bit tired. I tried to rest as much as I could. We had one Friday and Saturday, and so the Friday afternoon I took naps and walked around and got ready. So I really wasn't nervous. And I was tired going in, and the first day, before the first social, your interpreter will ask you questions about what you like, what you're looking for in a woman, maybe your personality, what you do to build you up. And then you walk into the room, I remember this, and I'm looking around at 58, 62 women. Suddenly my jet lag went away.
Amazing how that'll happen, right?
clean it up.
Wow, this is great. And
You woke up.
Yeah, so you just switch tables about every 15 minutes, so.
All right, and Michael, you're ready. You're kind of freaked out a little bit, but you're ready, and you walked into that social, and then what? What thoughts? What happened?
Oh, then we went along the tables pretty quickly.
No, but what did you think when you first walked in there? What was going through your mind when you were looking in that room and the women?
I couldn't believe that there were that many women, and it was like a huge banquet hall, but it was filled. It was not like half filled, but it was filled like every table. They had about 10 to 13 women at every table. So I was like, whoa, where did they get all these women? And when I found out, they're not just from Shenzhen. They were from Wuhan, they were from Shanghai, they were from other northern part of China too. And I was like, whoa, they came this far down, 3 or 4 hour train ride to be here? And I was like, whoa. So I was kind of shocked how far that they traveled. And plus, they were all interested in meeting men. So I was like, it wasn't like that American type that says, hey, buddy, calm down. Don't push me. I don't want to be pushed. You understand? Forget about it,
You're bothering me.
Yeah, I don't want to be pushed. But these women are like, hi, some of them were incredible. They were like, boom. They gave us like a business card with the name, address, and telephone, and I also have a U.S. visa, so I can come and visit you. You're like, whoa, this
Nice.
is forward.
So you were able to exchange contact information with pretty much anybody you wanted to, as long as it was mutual?
Yeah, whatever I did was I just took my phone and said, here's my WeChat. If you want to scan it, you can scan it, and you can be friends and send me. And the next morning, I got text from girls that said, good morning, sweet Michael. How are you this morning? Did you sleep well? And I'm like, who the hell was this one?
Yeah.
And I had to think back, like, which one was this one?
Send me a picture.
Yeah, please, can you please send me a picture?
Do not ask her to send you a picture. No. You got to figure it out. That's the worst. But yeah, it does get a little bit confusing, doesn't it? When you're going through. Now, did it help having a wing woman or your matchmaker next to you? I mean, was that
Oh,
something
man.
you were ever used to, having someone go with you, dating?
No, well, it was really good to have Samantha as my translator, because the reason is that she's done it before and she's got the experience. And then she had this rule, and I never knew of this rule. She said, if there's any date that goes more than 4 hours, you'll be married.
Oh, really?
And I said, what, really? And
I
she
like
says,
that.
And she says, I know, because from experience, this happened this time, and this time. And she says, if you're dating for more than 4 hours, then you will be married. I was going to say, if you're dating for 4 hours, then I, as a translator, make a lot of money. I thought she was going to say, but she said no. But I found out that in China, it is so cheap. At that time, a hotel fee is about $30 to $70. In America, it's $100 plus. Now for
Easily.
$30 or $35. Now Michelle was telling me, she said, Michael, I warn you, if you invite women that are from out of Shenzhen, you will have to pay for their lodging and for their transportation. Now, when I look back on retrospect, I just say, you know what? You should include all the women in China. Why? Because the hotel is cheap, and they're only going to stay for 2 or 3 days, and then afterwards, the rails are cheap too. So it's like, if I had to do it again, I would say no. I would take all of China now and invite them down for like a $70.
See, but it's
training.
not just about the money, Michael. It's also about the time. So if you invite a woman from outside to come, she's going to expect you to spend that 2 or 3 days with her, possibly. And if it doesn't work out in the first hour or two, then you feel obligated, and your opportunity cost goes away with the other women. So you got to be careful with that.
True. But if you fall in love with that picture again,
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
then
Yes.
you got then it's like curiosity killed the cat. You got to. One of the main things that we guys want to ask is she really as pretty as her picture? Is she? And that's the curiosity where it kills the cat. Say, I gotta find out.
Do a video call first, and then have her come, right?
That's true.
Like Will, remember, that's what you do.
Yes, that's what I'm gonna do next time.
Yeah, I absolutely think you should. So you're going, well, let's ask you. So
Okay.
you had a matchmaker as well with you, and you probably never experienced that before. Was that helpful for you?
Yes, and she spoke very good English and even knew some American slang. And I thought she was very thorough to get to know me, my likes, even my dislikes, and then presented myself at each table, which was very nice. We usually would walk when we changed tables. We would stand up and she would speak in Thai, which I had no idea what she was saying, hopefully good things. So, yeah. And then you just sit down and she'd just either start right or left and go around. And one of the questions I always had was, did the women that I was talking to or meeting, A, did they have children? And second of all, did they want more children? So that was important to me. So
What were they asking you, mainly?
the main question on both nights is if, for an example, would be, okay, say you and I get together, we start a relationship and we decide we want to, get married and, move on. Where would we live? Would we live in Thailand or would we live in the United States? And my answer was I would like to do both. Because obviously these women have probably, maybe their parents are still alive, probably siblings, obviously they have friends. And so to just walk away from that, I can imagine me walking away from my family, my friends and everyone, and going to a foreign country and never coming back. So that's what I would do, is split the time. Most Americans and most countries can spend up to 90 days, and that's 3 months. So that's quite a bit of time. Okay. I think you can get to know someone, quite well, unless you're, she's working or you get a job or something. But no, that's one of the main questions they said, and pretty much my interpreter, explained what kind of work I did. Of course, my age and just different things like that. So yeah.
So, Michael, at your socials, you each had 2 socials, one Friday, one Saturday, different women attending each one. At your social, what were the questions that were most important for you to ask to the women? Or did you have a set?
No, I didn't have a set. We just played it by ear and just took question and answer, and that was about it. I thought it was okay.
Well, didn't you have some things that were kind of important to you, like maybe astrology?
Oh, that.
Come on, Michael,
Okay,
come
all
clean.
right. I was the weird one. Everybody, careful. Okay, here's the thing. My thing was, because my ex-wife was born in the year of the pig, and I was born in the year of the snake. So I just Googled compatibility of female pig and male snake. Right away, the first sentence was, a pig can never satisfy a snake. And I was like, holy smokes, and then they said it's not a good match and everything. So I just said, well, the first thing is, I'm not going to marry a pig. Now I say this, and everybody thinks I'm rude,
yes,
and I'm talking about fat women, and I'm like, no, it's a pig. So one of the girls, so I said, hey, how you doing? What's your name? He said, don't worry, you won't be interested in me because I'm a pig. So I'm like, don't worry, we can still be friends. It doesn't mean that but it just means I'm not going to be marrying you. That's all.
That's funny.
So I told him that I'm looking for a girl that's a double match. And now careful is like, what the hell is a double match? I never heard of a double match. So I just said, well, a double match is someone who matches me on the Western zodiac and the Eastern zodiac. What that means is that on the Western zodiac, I am an Aquarius. I'm compatible with four other air signs plus 2 fire signs. So those are like Aries, another Aquarius, Leo, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Libra. Okay. So those are what I'm compatible with. But on the Chinese side, the snake is compatible with people born in the year of the ox and the people who are born in the year of the rooster.
Okay.
So I said, I'll go for those and no pigs. So even Ken is going around the whole tour. No pigs, right?
Yeah, oh, Ken loved that, I'm sure. So did you find many double matches?
Actually, I found 2 who were double matches.
Oh, okay.
The funny thing was, on the first night, this is the reason why you have to go. Kevin, I hope you got that video ready of the girl. There was this girl that I have seen her profile like 20 times, and I disqualified her. No. But when I go there, Careful tells me after Friday night, Careful says, Michael, there is a girl that's interested in dating you. And I said, whoa, wait a minute, okay, before I say yes, please let me know, send me a picture. Then she sends me back a picture of this gorgeous, beautiful girl in a glove-tight dress, and I'm like, whoa, who is that? And I said, tell her yes. Tell her yes. So,
there you are. You're happy there. It looks.
Yes, that's when I got my first date.
See, were you just a little happy? I mean, come on, Michael, show your emotions, please.
I had a touchdown celebration.
Yeah, okay.
So because I had 10 rejections.
Yeah.
Finally, one girl says she will date me. Says, oh yeah, and I'm doing the touchdown dance and everything. So what happens is, I see that and I'm like, oh my gosh. I says, let me see her profile picture. I saw a profile picture. Looked nothing like her real picture. And I was like, that is that, but I like this. This is good.
Much improved.
Yeah, and I was looking, I said, holy smokes. And that's one of the reasons why you have to go to the social, because there are some wild cards. For example, that was a wild card. When I saw her picture, I was not even interested in seeing her. But when I saw her in real life, she was the most gorgeous woman on Friday night. And I was like, I didn't even have to ask her.
She wanted to go out with you.
Yeah.
She picked you. Mr. Rejection guy. She picked you. That's
Yes.
cool. I like that. All right.
And I was so shocked. So I was like, holy smoke. And then I found another matchmaker said, here's a list of women who are also available that won't come to the social. So I said, oh, let me try this one. She looks really gorgeous in a red, she had a knock 'em dead red dress. So I just said, I got to go for this. So I just said, I want to see if she looks like that. And it says Tiger, and I said, Tiger's not a match, but I'm just going to go see just to see if she looks as good as a picture. But when I talked to her, I find out she was born in the year of the ox, which is a 92% compatibility. So I was like, holy smokes. And then that's another reason why you have to go, because if I never would have gone there, I would have never gotten that list where I can choose from. And then I picked that girl on that list that did not want to go to socials.
So some women don't want to go to socials because either they feel that there's just too many other women there, so they don't kind of like that environment, right? Or they just can't make it for whatever reason, and so then they're available for one-on-one introductions, which is what we do in the hospitality room. We have what's called the hospitality room. Mm-hmm. So Greg, you used a little bit of the hospitality room in Thailand. Tell a little bit how that worked for you.
I did. They're really good if you meet someone. I met several women on both nights, and they're good about getting a hold of the woman. And most of the women I dated had jobs and had to work. This is through the week. So all our dates were for dinner at night. So they would figure out what times they were available and also what kind of cuisine they liked, and pick a restaurant that were, usually I walked. Bangkok's usually a pretty walkable city, and it's fairly easy for them to reach you or where you're going to meet by train. Traffic is really bad in Bangkok, day and night. So they use trains and then sometimes cabs if they can. So, but the hospitality suite, yes, they would take care of all those details. anything you requested, you wanted, they took care of, you know.
And you, Michael, did they help you?
Oh, they were amazing. They had their lists and everything, and they said, who do you want me to call? Do you want me to call this one or that one? Set up some dates. They were always there, readily available, and they were like, who do you want? Who do you want? And we were like, it's like ordering from the menu. Can I have this one over here with the long legs? Yeah, I'm into legs. What are you picking girls with, like chicken? What are you, like legs? Legs or breasts? Legs and breasts. I'll take the wings.
Nice.
I'll take the wings.
Oh my God. Okay, you know, I have to say, Michael is actually a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
He does stand-up comedy. I mean, he is our client, but he's also a stand-up comedian in New York and around the country.
I performed in Atlantic City twice, and then I performed twice in Las Vegas also. So I had a week-long engagement over at the Tropicana Hotel, and I also had a week-long engagement over at the Sahara Hotel, but that was broken down and they rebuilt it again. So yes, I did work as a
Did the
stand-up.
women understand your humor very well in China, or how'd that go for you?
I don't know. I don't think so. Only the ones that understood English. Oh, but they knew enough to kid around with me in the hospitality room. And she was like, "No pigs for Michael."
Yeah, I know. I saw some of the videos. You guys had fun.
And the girls were telling me, like one of them, Mercy, was like, she's like, "Don't worry, you're not interested in me." I said, "Why not? You look pretty good." She goes, "I'm a pig." I'm a pig. The ones that you don't like.
I want to go with the next tier. Whatever you're picking, I'm going to go.
You're gonna go with them? All right, see, this is how it works, guys. Yes, I like this. All right, so we have a few questions. I'm going to take a few of these because it's specific to what these guys can answer. So
Great.
the ones that are not so specific to what we're doing tonight, please call in tomorrow. Some of you guys have kind of technical questions about the site and stuff like that, which I probably couldn't help you because even though I may be one of the owners, I have no idea how to do some of this technical stuff. I mean, it's beyond me. But Brianna and these other people can help you much better than I can. So call in tomorrow and they will help you with those, okay? But there are some questions that these guys can answer, like one here from Kurt. Kurt says, I'll be joining the upcoming tour in China. Careful in the broadcast said that credit cards are not accepted in China. How much cash should I bring? Did you have problems with credit cards, and what were you thinking?
Yeah, credit cards are not accepted that much. You got to bring cash. I would say, I don't know, maybe about 2,000 or 3,000 would be enough, but you'll probably never spend it because it's so cheap in there. It's unbelievable. You wouldn't believe it. Like I got a haircut at home. It cost me $20. Over there, it was $3.50. and it did not look like a $3.50 haircut.
Oh, that's funny. That's great.
That was great, and everything in China was so cheap. You could have lunch for about $3.50, which in the old days would have been like a $5 lunch. Things in China are so cheap that you get so much of your money's worth.
You couldn't use your visa, though.
No, you could use it certain places, but have cash. All the cabs do not accept any credit cards, so you have to have cash for the cabs. Sometimes they don't even have change for you.
Because they actually over there, if you're Chinese living there, you're using WeChat.
Exactly, WeChat
so you're
Pay
paying
and
on WeChat.
Alipay, yeah.
Okay, all right. Another question to Michael for China. How much of an age difference is acceptable to Chinese women? So what was your take on that with the age difference?
Oh my gosh, it's like, it doesn't exist. If they like you, they'll like you. It's like, okay, the true story is, I'm over 50. I'm over 50.
No!
Yes, I am.
Okay.
But the strangest thing was that everybody thought, because I don't know, maybe I got a demure size or whatever, everybody thought I was like 40 or 45. So I was dating girls that was 36, 38. Originally, I went in there. That's another reason why you should go on a tour, because I went into the tour thinking, my age limit would be probably maybe 40, 42 and up. But when I got there, I found out that their perception of me was different. And I was able to date women that were even 30, 32, 36, and 38. And I was like, whoa. And then that's when Ken comes up to me and Ken goes, oh my gosh, I think I know why you're so popular. And I'm like, why? Well, I don't know. And he goes, because you look so damn younger than everybody else. And I said, no, I have all these grays, and grays and whites, and he goes, no one sees that shit.
No, but another thing too, Michael, and guys, you know, it's important to be comfortable with who you are and to have a good time. I've been around Michael now for a couple of days, and he's always smiling, he's happy, he's having fun, he's comfortable, and same with Greg. You know, I just met you here recently, but you know, you're smiling, you're happy. Women like that.
Happy men, yeah.
And if you notice, if you read a lot of their profiles, they like men, not just Chinese or Thai women, Ukrainian, Mexican. They say a good, you know, humorous,
they
good
want
person.
that.
Yeah,
They want humor.
Joke around.
Humor's a great aphrodisiac.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. It
Yeah.
breaks the ice.
Yeah.
It does. A little bit of self-depreciating humor. You do that a lot. I mean, and it really does. It breaks the ice. It makes them feel more comfortable, right? And so that's one of the reasons I think, Michael, it's not your great looks. Okay, yeah, you're
No, I don't
beautiful.
have
Plus, it's more about the energy that you put out.
Yeah.
You get back what you put out. And if you put out that good vibe, that good energy, you'll get that back. And that's important.
I found out from Iris, I was talking to Iris, and somehow, you know, I got to do this thing, and she goes, oh, that's so good, girls will love it, do it. And I'm like, what do you mean? Do that thing that did the mouth trumpet. So I was just one day, I was like, and she's like, oh, that's wonderful, you gotta do it, they love it. So
That's very good.
and so, you know, and I just kept doing that, and then on the night before the Saturday social, I just said, man, I don't care anymore. I don't care if they think that I'm a stupid idiot or whatever. So I just brought my little boombox and I played some salsa music, and I got up on stage and I did a couple of moves, and then I was doing some moves on the
Right.
stage, and then I thought maybe people thought I was stupid or something, but then later on the girls start saying, wow, look at that. He can salsa dance. That's pretty cool. Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
And then after that, I got 4 proposals of, hey, can we try? I took cha-cha lessons
There you go.
before. So there
Look
I
at 'em.
see.
Look at 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was one of the girls.
I'll tell you, I had a client once who went on one of our training tours. He didn't know how to dance. He went to Arthur Murray Studios. Probably paid more than what the tour cost, but he took dancing lessons. He knew how to do the frame and all that, you know?
Yeah.
Women loved that. I mean, that classical dancing, he was like dancing up a storm, and women loved it. So if you could do something like that, it takes a little bit of effort. You know, you have to put up a little bit, but you learn that you did that. You did that.
I've been taking salsa lessons for the last 3 years. So, and then when I went to it, I said, yeah, I got game. And then, like right there, I'm on stage with this girl
Yeah, so cool.
that I brought up, and then I just said, I don't care if they think I'm crazy or whatever, and it paid off. It doubled my popularity for some reason.
Very cool.
You know.
Don has another question. This could, either one of you guys, actually both of you guys should answer this. I think we'll start with Greg, and then we'll come back to Michael. But Don wants to know, how much would you need for the tour, trip, visit, and visa all together? Okay, so let's break it down, because you don't know where you're going to go. So you can see what the cost of the tour is. It's right around $3,000 to $3,500, depending where you're going, how long. Okay, that's going to be that. But as far as your airfare and what you spent over there, what would you estimate that at?
I got mine well in advance. That's the best thing to do. Try to get it at least 3 weeks in advance, if not longer. And I had frequent flyers because I travel quite a bit, either for personal leisure and for work sometimes. So I have frequent flyer miles, but it was around 1,400. It wasn't bad. You know?
Whoa.
Yeah, so that was to Bangkok, and I did the 10-day tour. And as far as taking cash, I think I took 1,200, and I brought back 250.
Oh,
So you
shit.
spent $1,000 while you were there.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
that's
$1,000.
for 10 days on a
Now
vacation.
I did put some stuff on a credit card, so I
Okay.
probably did spend
Ah, so you had the advantage.
Yeah.
How much more do you think?
another maybe 400.
Okay, but still, that's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
not
I've spent,
bad.
like I said earlier, I've spent more than that on vacations to, especially Hawaii. Hawaii is very expensive.
yeah, it
is.
Yeah, I've been there twice, and yes, and
And everyone's different. I remember going like years ago. I mean, this was probably 20 years ago. We went to this restaurant with a guy who wanted to take Tanya and I and a couple of guys out, and he probably spent $4,000 on dinner. You know, but this is what he wanted to do,
$4,000.
right? And he was
Whoa.
buying this expensive wine and shit, all this crap. So you
Where
know,
was this, in Russia?
This was in I'm going to say St. Petersburg, Russia.
Oh, wow.
So you know, but this was him. This is what he liked to do. I remember he ended up in the Ukraine. He's like, ooh, no, this was in Russia. He's like, I have rubles, oodles and rubles. You know, it's like he's got all these rubles. This is great. It's like Monopoly money. I'm like, okay, you sure? But you know, this was him, his lifestyle. And then we had this doctor who was very frugal, so at breakfast every morning, he would stuff his face with these eggs, hard-boiled eggs. Well, you eat these eggs, you don't eat anything all day, right? Yeah, he would eat like 13, 14 eggs every
14
morning.
eggs.
And then he's like, now I'm set for the day. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be around you all the time, but
yeah, no kidding.
so it depends on what your lifestyle is, on how much you're going to, so it's hard for us to say, oh, you only need this, or you need this. But what was your experience with that?
I would have to say, like, I was there for 3 weeks, though. I signed up for a 2-week tour, and I spent another week after that. So I was there for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks, I spent about maybe $2,000. So that's like $700 a week.
That's nothing on a vacation like this.
It's nothing.
I mean,
so
that's cheap.
and everything in China was so cheap that I was like, oh my gosh, cab rides were like $5, maybe $7. In New York, it's like $20, $18. And I got, like I told you, I got a haircut for $350, but it didn't look like a $350 haircut.
Right.
And one thing about us, and I think both you guys will attest to this. I don't know, I haven't asked you yet, but you know, we don't nickel and dime you to death. The one thing that you might have to pay for if you're using interpreters on private dates, yes, we do charge extra for that because some guys don't need it, so we don't want to put it into the cost of the tour because you might pay for something you're not going to use. But other than that, it's not like we're going to charge you for anything. I mean, it's really, everything's pretty much included, breakfast, everything. So that's nice too. You don't have that.
The translators were so cheap.
And that's cheap too.
It was
I
like
know.
almost like it was like nothing. It's like getting a $2 or $3 charge.
Yeah, I know.
But it was like 20 or $30, something like that.
The value of, I keep telling guys, the value of this compared to any other kind of matchmaking you can do here or anywhere else, there's just no better value that I've ever seen. If anybody ever comes up with it, please tell me. But for what you get, for the organization, for the network that you're plugged into, right? I mean, it's not bad. It's not like they can just pick up a phone and call these women, they just come out of the blue. This takes a lot of time and effort to set up, and years to really develop, and then you just walk right into it. And it's nice to be able to have that. So, yeah. I do want to read this from Cody. This doesn't have so much to do with what we're doing, but it's a wonderful thing, so I'm going to get my applause ready. John, want to let you know, this December, Olga and I will celebrate 4 years of happy marriage. Yay! We met in 2018 on the website at a social in Nikolai, Ukraine. We just recently found out we are expecting our first child due in May 2024. Thank you for all the help from AFA Cody. Woo! AFA Cody, congratulations.
Whoa.
We like success stories.
I love it.
Whoa.
What happened to my thing? There it is, finally, okay. That's cool. I mean, and we get these all the time. We really do. And a lot of times I don't even know. Someone else tells you, oh, did you hear he got married or he got married? Because once you guys go, you forget about us. We met at a conference. No, a foreign affair. No. So yeah, a lot of times we don't even know, but I think it's really cool.
Well, the age difference was, you guys always say 20 or so, but it all depends on how you look also. In my case, I just was lucky that I looked younger than most guys, and then I was able to date. But then when you go there, you're going to be able to gauge yourself and see how young you can go. So, but the only thing is, you're not going to know that until you go on the tour, and then you find out, in comparison to anyone else, I was a little bit younger than most. So that's why I was able to date the 38s, the 36-year-olds, which I didn't know that I would be. I thought that I would probably date 45s to like maybe 50, but I didn't know that I could date that much younger. So their recommendation is 20 years, but when you go there, I have the Ralph Macchia kind of Karate Kid kind of body that looks like a 16-year-old body. So they think I'm a 16-year-old kid. So, but then they find out that I'm youthful, and then I can salsa, I can dance, I can move, and I had some moves and stuff. And then they thought I was younger than others.
Listen to what this man's saying, because the information that he's giving you, that he experienced, is priceless. Because we've been telling you that for a long time. When you write someone, let's say, and you're 60, and you're writing someone who's younger, that person's idea of age comes from her frame of reference, which is totally different than where you are. Her frame of reference might be China or Ukraine, and men may age much differently than they do where you're coming from, right? And so that it's just a number. It's not a person. It's not you in the flesh. But when you go over in the flesh and you, what I like to say, present, and he presents well. Greg presents well, right? And so when the women see that, they're like, oh, wait a minute, let me scratch off what I thought about the age difference and maybe, lower that a bit, is where I'm open to a larger age difference, right? And we see, that's why at AFA, we stopped putting the up to on the women's profile. Like, I'm interested in a man up to 50 or up to 45.
Oh,
we stopped doing that because we found out that a lot of women were saying up to 45 and marrying someone who was 55. Because when they met, it was just such a difference, right? And so men who were older weren't looking at those women as much because they thought, oh, well, she says this. It doesn't matter. When you meet, like you said, that's what's important. I'm so glad you brought that up, Michael, because that's a huge, huge point. Good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right.
Because I was thinking I'll be marrying 40 something, 50, but I didn't know I could go that lower. And I was like,
Because it's
wow,
different
what a benefit.
cultures. And in the United States, we're more age elastic probably than anywhere else. Did you see that in Thailand as well? Did you notice that?
The age difference?
Yeah.
It was mostly younger women. There was some women, I'd say in their 50s, but most of them were in their 30s
And were
40s.
they interested? I mean,
Oh,
was
yeah,
there,
yes,
they didn't have the issue?
absolutely, yeah.
Right.
And you have all these misconceptions things until you walk into that room with, in my case, like 58 to 60 women. It all went out the door. Yeah, like
does,
they're all available, and yeah, it was like I said, I felt like a kid in a candy store.
That's why I say also that you have to kind of, one client said this once, you have to clear your headspace. Because we are so programmed here to go into these rooms, right? And we know we're going to walk up and we're going to get blown out. And then we're going to next time, we're going to get blown out, right? And that's what we're used to as men here, right? But when you go there, like you said, these women actually want to meet you.
Yeah.
And no, we're not used to that. We're never used to that. And so it's such a different feeling. And if you go into that social with that same mindset, that's going to be like another bar, another thing, then you've got this kind of negative vibe going. But if you go in totally with no preconceived ideas what's going to happen, and you're open to anything, you're much better off. Would you agree?
Oh, definitely. Except I went in with the most depressing mindset.
Well, you,
For
Michael.
rejection,
Yeah, you were
right?
so worried about that.
Yeah,
but,
I got 10 rejection. I'm like, oh man, this is a rejection city. And I'm like, but they were telling me I was going to be great, and I'm like, I don't see how that's going to happen. My heart was broken, and then I went there. It's like, boom, Saturday night just exploded, and then I just doing my salsa dance, and then I became really popular, and then they gave me the biggest compliment ever, and that is, are you part Chinese at least? Because when they're asking you that if you're Chinese, it's like asking them, are you part of us?
Yeah.
Are you one of us?
Yeah.
So usually in New York, you don't think of it as a compliment, but when Chinese people say, are you one of us? Like, we're honored if you are one of us. So I was like, whoa, this is really very interesting.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it was a compliment, as a matter of fact, See, there I am. I'm all dressed up. I got my necktie on.
You look good. Look at
You
that
know.
tie. I love that. Yeah, look at him.
Actually, that's a $200 tie that I bought.
Beautiful tie, though. Yeah.
So I just said, and the one thing that we comedians also know is you don't get a second chance at a first impression. So when you have an audition with an agent, you just say, don't blow it. Make sure you give him the best act of your life. So because you're not going to get a second chance at a first impression. So
Who's the girl in the glasses there?
that's Tina. She's one of the what do you call-
Interpreters?
No. She is one of the matchmakers.
Okay, gotcha.
She's one of the matchmakers that represents. She's a recruiter on the Hong Kong and also in the Shenzhen area, and she recruits a lot.
Did she do a good job for you?
Oh my gosh. She actually, most of the girls that got married were out of her agency.
Oh, okay.
That's Tina and that's Nicole.
Okay.
And
Yeah, she seems like she's working hard.
yeah,
I mean-
Jim got married from a girl from that agency. Will got married from that girl in that agency.
Yeah, lots of marriages.
Yeah,
That's what it's about. It's fantastic.
and
Okay.
and she's really good at getting people together and finding what you like. And she's good. She's aggressive. Like I couldn't believe. I asked her, "What did you tell the girl that met me?" She said to me, "I just said." She said, "I just said to her, so you want to meet him? Why not? He's here." And then she
He's
said,
here.
"Okay." And that's how I got the date.
Right, I'm going to go through a few more questions, and I want to know a little bit more about what happened with you guys here and any lasting things. So, Tom, because this happens too. At the socials, there'll be women that come to the socials that are not yet on the site, and you guys get to meet them first.
True.
I always joke that, if you meet someone, it goes really well, and she doesn't want her profile to actually go on the site, we're going to charge you an extra $1,000. But no, we never really do. But it is possible that you're going to meet women that are not yet on the site because they're new, and we're letting them come in. And Tom wants to know how long it will take to get on the site. And Tom, usually it's a few weeks. We only add profiles to our site, as you guys know, only once a week, Wednesday. That's our update day. It's a big day.
Yeah.
Only Wednesday. And for almost 30 years, every Wednesday we have that update day, and we have people here whose life depends on that going up. Because if we don't put that up, we have guys calling, like, what happened? Where are the new profiles? Where are the new profiles?
Oh, really?
So it's like the newspaper going out. No, it's a big deal to me. And I don't think we've ever missed a Wednesday in all these years of having our new profiles up. So, we can only put it up once a week. So it does take a few weeks for them, and there's certain screening and stuff we have to do to make sure that, they can go up and not a problem. But yeah, you'll start seeing some of those. If you're seeing them in the video, they should start coming up by now. But you did get to see some women that were not.
Yes, as a matter of fact, there's also there are new people who just signed up, and then they'll go to the social right away.
Right.
But I didn't know that if a person, if a lady was invited, if she said, "Can I bring my friend too?"
Yeah.
Then they'll bring another friend, and that friend doesn't have a profile either.
No, she'll have to sign registration before she comes in and make sure that we want to bring her in. But then sometimes we can't always let everybody in, but if everything's cool, then we can.
And that's why
we give you guys opportunity.
It's the wild card because when you go, you get to see people that are not even on the website yet. So you get first dibs on those girls.
Yes, you do. And we've had a lot of marriages from that, by the way. The woman just comes, and all of a sudden she falls in love, and then they're getting married. It's like, wow.
Excellent.
So it's really cool. And then Kurt says, I've been studying Confucianism, which is one of the most interesting aspects of your culture or their culture. So, in your opinion, are many women religious in any sense of the term religious?
No, not
You
at all.
didn't see that.
Not at all.
Agnostic women.
And
Yeah.
Thai too, Buddhist.
Buddhist.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them are Buddhist
Right.
in Thailand, yeah.
Okay. And in China, you didn't see a lot of religions.
Because the party is there, and the party doesn't really promote any religious freedom. So,
No.
but I don't see anybody being religious at all. Some say they're Buddhists, but most of them are pretty much atheists. So I don't see any problems at all. I think they're almost like religion-less. They don't have any.
It's kind of how Russia and Ukraine was for a long time because it was prohibited. I mean, these
communist,
beautiful
yeah.
cathedrals got turned into like warehouses, right? I mean, it was
gosh.
awful what they did to some of these. And now it's starting to come back a little bit, but yeah. Blue says, John, that's what happened to me. I had set the lower limit to 45, yet found my soulmate who was 39.
See, I told you.
Yeah.
But you won't find that out unless you go there.
Yeah, you
and
have
then, like, he was looking for 45, but he got luckier and he went even lower and got one younger.
Yeah.
You get one that's younger, that lasts a little bit longer.
Hopefully, yeah.
Lasts a little longer, a little firmer, a little tighter.
Michael, be nice, Michael. Where's the edit button? Do we have the little cat? Wait.
He doesn't come with a mute button.
Hey, this thing needs battery. Damn it, I can't even do anything.
You beep beep.
All right, yeah. We need a beep. Yeah, thank you. Beep yourself, please. Okay. Greg, we're going to you.
Okay.
We're going away from Michael
Yeah.
for a while. Yeah, the editor, yeah. Censor, you're out. Greg, what happened? You went on this tour, you're meeting all these women. Where are you at now?
Well, I'm in contact with one lady from Bangkok, and as we spoke earlier, I'm from Indiana. I'm out here visiting friends in the Arizona area, and it's 11 hours difference in Indiana. Most Indiana's on Eastern time, and so it's 11 hours. So when I send her messages, it's usually after she's off work or before I'm going to work. So it's either morning or night, depending. So just, it's roughly, 11, 12 hour difference. I didn't, really wasn't interested in, the main thing with this gal, she was 40 years old, didn't want to have any kids. She spoke pretty good English, and she was very attractive. And
What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
What's the problem? What do you want, Greg? Come on.
Yes. But we've talked, and I'd love to go back over there. If I go back over there, I'd like to spend, some time with her, and hopefully it'd be a period when she could take vacation, or a lot of European countries, they call it holiday. And, most of us know Americans, we just don't get that much time off. And we're working a lot. So I'm planning on maybe retiring sometime next year, so I'm going to have time. So I can plan a vacation or around their holiday and try to spend as much time as possible and get to know each other.
So you need more time, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
you're not ready just to pull the trigger.
I can't say that I would meet a woman and be married to her in a month or even a year. I'd need time to spend with them and just see, because you never know. My experience in dating here in America is, you go out there and, third date is like, I really don't like you.
It happens.
I don't say that, but that's how I'm feeling. And a quick story, a good friend of mine, he passed away in 16, but when we started, he and I both were dating, we had a little code. If we were out on a date and we wanted to, especially like a blind date, or you met someone in a profile, oftentimes they don't have the right, they're using someone else's pictures, or you just don't like them,
Right.
We would text each other 911 and have our phones off. You see that, you pick up, then you'd call and say, "Oh my God, your mother's been in a car wreck. You gotta go. Sorry, lady. Time to go."
I think women do that too.
Yes,
that's
I'm sure they
unfortunate,
do.
But
yeah. So it was kind of a plan B escape route.
That's funny. All right, so you met a woman that you're interested in. You're going to go back. You're going to see where it goes. You're not in a hurry, because some guys, they're ready to get engaged that next day, right? And they're going to pull the trigger quickly, like some of the guys from your tour that moved already married.
Yeah,
right?
two of them already
married. So just really, everyone's different. Every woman's different. The couple's going to be different. Both people have to be ready to move that fast, or both people have to be willing to take a year or two to get to know each other, right? That's what makes it so difficult. It's not just one-sided. Like you said, I'm going shopping, it's not like that. You have to have both people interested and on the same wavelength and time frame and all that.
One size doesn't fit all.
No, it's why this is so hard and complicated. Michael, what is going on with you now? You went over, you've done all this. Where are we at now?
Well, I'm in contact with one lady, and I'm trying to get to know her a little bit better. But I don't know if I want to pull the trigger, not just quite yet. So we're still in contact with each other every single day.
That's good.
But we're learning.
And this is directly, right? Not through the site or anything.
No.
This is direct. Okay.
No, we're on WeChat.
And you're direct, obviously.
Yeah.
We want you, at this point, you should be direct.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they call it Line in Bangkok.
Okay.
Line. Oh, you're online.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So you're in contact with her every day, Michael?
Yes. Yes.
I got butterflies over here. No, every day you're in contact with her?
Pretty much, and we have our ups and downs, and we have some, some arguments here and there too. But I think that's part
That's
of
good.
That's part of like growing up, and that's part of finding out what buttons push,
And
what
not to
buttons
push.
push us,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I'm getting to learn that a bit, and then now I'm got to figure it out. Is this the one or not? So I'm still at that point. Maybe I should also think about it a little bit longer. And you're saying take your time, huh?
I absolutely think you should take your time. I think look, this is one of the most important things that you're ever going to do. I think some guys take more time, like I say this in Texas all the time, I do the seminars, and some guys take more time trying to buy a pickup truck than they do finding a significant other, right? And so, it's important. This is one of, if not the most important decision you're ever going to make in your life, because it affects everything. And even if you get divorced, it's still going to affect things, right? So, it's really, really an important thing to do. It's nothing that you should take lightly. And sometimes when we have done the tours, especially when we first started, because, oh my gosh, if we took 20 guys over to Russia back in the 90s, like 18 of them would get engaged right away. It just happened a lot faster back then. And it was almost like a competition. Like, I'm doing the paperwork. Are you doing the paperwork? I'm doing the paperwork. Oh, I'm going to be doing the paperwork. Well, you better do the paperwork. Dude, you don't have to do the paperwork. You can wait. It's not like a contest. This is your life, right? So, yeah, I really think that, it's an important decision. We don't gauge these tours on, well, how many marriages did you get? Oh, well, it wasn't successful if you didn't get enough. No. we gauge it on, hey, did we do our job? Did we give everyone opportunity? Did everyone get that chance to meet and to see where things are going to go? To us, that's what's important, right? That's what we really look at. All right, so now, Mattel, I'm John, almost done paying for my second tour. Love it. Keep going. You're going to get there. So we're almost at the end of the. Actually, we're almost. Union starts getting mad at me now. I get all the letters. And, oh yeah, they start yelling at me. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get a nasty letter tomorrow. But we're gonna go a little bit longer here. I'm sorry. I'll pay for it. But
I think that the thing I can't understand what you always complain about is that there's so many men that write and write and write
and don't go.
But they don't go.
And it's like, oh, and we even give them credit for what they paid to write, a percentage of that to go, right? And it's like, okay, we're helping you to go. We're giving you money to go. Just go meet these women.
All I can say is that, look, if you think that you've spent your life developing yourself as a gentleman, and you have gentlemen, and you can treat women well as ladies, and if you have enough culture and talent, enough vocabulary, and you're a refined gentleman, I think the time to go is now, because the longer you wait, you're not going to look as young as you are. So the next question is, however age that you are right now, and if you think that you're not ready, then when are you ready? Right. So you're going to say, am I ready when I'm 70? When I'm ready when I'm 75? When I'm 80? And then you have to ask yourself, well, how many women in China are looking for an 80-year-old guy? Not that many.
Yeah. Michael, we've been doing this now for almost 30 years. I have guys that have been looking at us for almost 30 years, still thinking about it.
For 30 years?
Oh, yeah. Still thinking about
But what's their excuse? Like, I'm not ready?
One guy had to wait till their parents died because they didn't want him to go anywhere, right? So finally, you go after 25 years. Wow. I have a list of 10 excuses. We don't have time now, but I can go through them. And, people of what men use not to go. But there's a quote that I always do at the seminar. I'll do this really quick because I want you guys to talk more here. But it's from Mark Twain. And it goes like this: 20 years from now, you'll regret the things that you didn't do much more than the things that you did do. So go and do it. Yeah. And I know that because I have guys coming to me 20 years plus now saying, I really wish I would have done that. And you're not going to wake up 20 years from now and say, oh, I'm so glad I didn't take that tour that Michael and Greg were talking about. I'm so glad I saved that $4 or $5 grand and I didn't do that. You're not going to do that, but you might think, why the hell didn't I go and at least try something like that, right?
Well, I was on another American dating site, and what I remembered was I put up a picture of me during the pandemic, and it says age, and I put 55. And then I was saying to myself, how come I didn't find anybody? I'm 56, and then it turns 57, and I'm like, man, am I still going to be doing this? Is this cyclical? Will I be having the same picture every year, and then just the number is going to change? 55 years old, 56 years old, 57 years old, 58. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be on this website when I'm 60 or 62 years old, still having a picture up there.
It.
Yeah.
Watch it.
So I just said, I said, I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
I want to be off this site with someone that really loves me for who I am. So then that's when I was like, man, I want to change this stuff. And then that's when I found you guys, and I just said, maybe this is the thing that could change it. So I just said, the good thing is that we're not here for years. The only thing that delays the years is you not going. So if you go, then you're you're on the girl's radar, saying, oh, he's good, I like him, or whatever.
Doesn't get easier with age, guys. It's just going to get more difficult.
Yeah, more gray hair, more white hair.
Or less hair.
And less hair too. You don't look better. You look worse, actually. So the time to go is now.
So, Greg, we're going to come into some final thoughts. I'm going to let you have some final thoughts, and then you're going to have the last word. So, Greg, what would you tell a guy who's sitting on the couch right now, still thinking, well, I don't know, is it real? Is it this? I mean, we've been doing it for 30 years now almost. I mean, my gosh, we've had movies done about us. We've had documentaries. We've had every news group in the world almost go over with us. Well, not in the world, but a lot. If you look at all the stuff, I mean, we're real. These guys survived. They're both here. They're still here. These aren't holograms. They're real. So, Michael, what would you tell someone who's still not sure about it?
Well, isn't Greg going to tell
I mean,
us?
Greg, I'm sorry.
That's right, yeah. Get your check back out and write a check, a deposit, and go. my situation in the beginning was I was working a lot and, and had chose to spend time with family. My parents were still alive at the time. And then they passed away and my daughters graduated college and they were out of the house. And then the pandemic hit. So then after that, I was sitting at home on the computer on this website looking at women, and I just kind of like sit back in my chair and I thought, the time is now. And I got up, got my checkbook, got down the address. I called Michelle. I said, hey, is this where I send my check to? She goes, yes, get it in the mail. I said, I want to go into Bangkok. She goes, well, it was already, I think, right around end of July, and the tour started August 24th. So I got my check in and had credits, as well too, and I had frequent flyer miles. So it really wasn't that expensive for me. I know not everyone has those available
Credits,
to them.
yeah.
Yeah, credits and or like me with frequent flyer miles.
But the value was there, wasn't it?
Yes,
Of
and
what you received?
it's like a vacation. If you go over there and you don't meet a woman, which I can't say that I fell in love with any certain one, but I had a good time. They were fun. They smiled a lot. They were friendly. Most of them spoke English. That's part of the reason I chose the Bangkok tour. And yeah, it's a marvelous time, and I'd love to go back. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Greg. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yes.
Michael, you are going to have the final word here.
Am I really? Oh,
Yes.
wow.
You have. Let's put him on a time now.
Yeah. 2 minutes, Michael. 2 minutes. Let's do it.
All I can say is that do's and don'ts were like, don't fall in love with a picture. You could write some letters, but do the Skype video call. Why? Because the Skype video call, and if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do an hour. Because it's only a $50 difference between a 30-minute one and an hour. And I'm like, I might have a lot of questions. So I might do the hour. Besides, I talk a lot. I'll probably talk.
No.
I'll probably talk 50 minutes. She got 10 minutes to answer my questions. We have ways to making you talk. So, but you got to do the Skype. And the other thing is, do not let a region in China to ever affect your decision in not meeting a girl. Don't disqualify her, because the hotel rates are $50 to $70, and the trains are worth, they're like what, $70, less than $100, less than $50 sometimes. So don't let that scare you off. If you find someone in the far reaches of China, invite her over and pay for her 2 or 3 days, and then if she's the one, then you're going to go and take the train up to her neighborhood, and you're going to date with her for about a week or so. That's one of the things I would tell you. And then you got to go on the tour, because, like I said, there's a couple of wild cards. You'll meet girls that you're not supposed to meet, because you'll meet girls that are not on the website. You'll meet girls who were invited by other girls. You'll meet girls that haven't even had a profile there yet. So because of those unknown variables that are exposed to you when you go to the social, that's why you have to go. And I don't know what guys are waiting for. I was waiting for China to open up. If China opened up 2 years ago, I would have been there 2 years ago.
Right.
So that's the only thing that was holding me back. And I was ready to go to the one in the Ukraine, the one that had a 5-city tour. I remember it was Kyiv to Kharkov, Kharkov to Odessa, Odessa to Nikolaev, and I think.
And Kherson, probably.
No, he didn't have Kherson on that one. But I was interested in the girl in Kherson. I was hoping I can invite her to Odessa. But that's the one I wanted to go to. And then, Putin just put a war in there, and
You would have had a blast on that tour, Michael. With just the travel time between those cities is so fun, because all the guys are either on a train or a bus. Sometimes it's an overnight train. And the stories that they're telling, it's just so fun. But
it would have been fun, but then Putin, he C-blocked me. I have to use the word C. C-block, and you know what the C stands for. So.
Let's not get the censor busy again. We got it. Okay.
So that destroyed all my plans for the Ukraine. I was so set on meeting those beautiful Ukrainian girls with the slim little waist, those Slavic ladies with the slim waist and the blue and the green eyes. And I just said, I swear to God, these women must be aliens. Because, you never saw such beautiful women with green and blue eyes and blonde. And I'm like, wow, you and I would be a perfect match with your blonde hair, green eyes, and my Asian look. We would make an incredible mutt. We would make a mutt that the world has never seen. One with blue and green eyes with black hair.
Michael,
up.
Michael, come
Ding,
on,
ding,
come on.
ding, ding, ding,
End it
ding.
up here.
That's it. That's all.
That's it?
I would say
You can't
gotta
just
go.
end like that. One final message to them within like 2 sentences.
You just have to go and
Thank you.
do the Skype and then go and then look. The main reason why men fall in love with the pictures is because, I'm curious of, are they as pretty as their picture? Are they as good as their picture? Is their personality even better than their picture? And the only way you're going to find out the answer to that is when you actually go there, you're in front of them, ask them a couple of questions, go on a date, and then you'll find the answers.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you can find the answers to those questions. So you got to go. And I would just say, I don't know whatever your reason not to go, I would suggest you to go call up John and his staff and tell Michelle what your reason is, and then they'll give you a story about a person that may have had the same similar objection,
Absolutely.
got over it, and they're married and they're not lonely. And plus,
Absolutely.
guys, if you're going home, you go to work and you go home and you watch Netflix and you go to bed and you wake up and you go to work the next day and you think that's all there is to life, do something that's going to change your life forever. Stop being lonely. Stop being lonely. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Like when I got separated during COVID, I was asking myself all the questions like, what did I do wrong? How did this marriage, go to divorce? Like, I don't understand. What did I do wrong? What should I do the next time? So I was having all these self-doubts, and that's when I just said, forget this. I'm going to go take some salsa lessons, and then for the next 3 years, I took some salsa lessons, and that was part of me, culturing myself to becoming a better gentleman. And by the time I went to Shenzhen, I was an adequate dancer. I could do salsa. I could do other things. I had humor, and I had stories of all kinds. And if you think that you have developed into a gentleman that is presentable, then it's your time.
Yeah.
Don't let that window of opportunity go, and then you're 80 years old, and
Right.
then you have less of a chance. Right now, youth. There's something for youth. When I went there, I didn't know I would be the youngest looking guy, and I had all the young girls that were interested in me. Some I had to say, no, you're too young. You're 25. I'm like, I don't want to go there.
A little too young. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, look, you had it. I mean, first of all, I really want to thank both these guys for being here and sharing their stories. They didn't have to do this. They're here.
Yep.
They're wonderful. They did it. Oh, good.
Also, yes, and if there's any other questions you think of, get a hold of John, pertaining to my Bangkok trip or Michael's China trip. Do so. I'll be more than glad,
I appreciate it. You guys can talk to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Send me, get a hold of John. You can text me or call me.
And this isn't uncommon though. I mean, we have so many guys that want to share their experiences. They want to be part of this community, which it is. It's cool. We help each other, and it's a wonderful thing. And once you start doing this, you'll see what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just this camaraderie that you get. These guys have just met each other
Right.
today, and they're going to be friends. I can tell
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
So I mean, it's really cool.
Just
how
tell them
this
to
works.
give out my number, and I'll talk to them in a New York style and say, listen, you're gonna go to China. You will have fun, and you will come back with a lady, right? All right, forget about
Forget
it.
about it. All right, guys.
You will go and you will have fun.
That's an order.
Thank you so much for being with us tonight. That's our show, and we'll be back Monday night. Probably they won't let me back in here again for a while, so Dina and everyone and Anna will be here, but
The prettier versions of us.
the
will be
prettier
coming back.
versions of
Yes.
us, yeah, I know. And we'll see you again. Be safe out there, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
No te vayas tan lejos. Ahí, ahí.
Sorry,
Michael?
no soy muy apegada, o sea, me cuesta pegarme a las personas.
No, no. Okay. She doesn't used to be like that. Ah, yes, okay. But no, she's not that kind of person. She said that.
Okay. So we just stand together?
And she said sorry for that. She said.
Oh, no problem.
I think also that maybe about the previous experience with pandemic that she started in children. Remember I talked to. Maybe she changed.
She'd be more comfortable if I put my mask?
¿Te sientes mejor si eso?
Oh, that answers that question.
That answers your question.